This is a stack of items in Bedrock, and this is what it looks like in Java. And here are 150 differences between Minecraft Java and Bedrock Edition. In Bedrock Edition only, you're able to ring a bell by dropping an item onto it. Skeletons are supposed to shoot you, but in Bedrock, if they're underwater, they'll melee attack you for some reason. Who coded this? This is a shulker chest. It's made in 100% survival in the Bedrock Edition. To create it, simply push a shulker into a chest using a piston. This setup allows you to access all your items while providing a decorative touch. Plus, it's quite secure. The shulker can't fire bullets while it's contained inside the chest. In Bedrock Edition, if you shear a sheep named Jeb, its wool patches will keep changing color. But this cool detail doesn't exist in Java Edition. This is a baby villager in Java Edition, and this is what it looks like in Bedrock. Its head is so much bigger. You probably know that certain blocks like stairs and candles can be waterlogged. However, in Bedrock Edition, you can also waterlog end portal frames, bells, beds, beacons, pistons, and even doors. The doors in particular are a problem because they can't be used as an air pocket when you're about to drown. Will lava turn waterlogged blocks into stone even if they contain sea crops? The results will surprise you. In Bedrock Edition, lava transforms waterlogged crops into stone. In contrast, in Java Edition, lava appears to float above the waterlogged blocks. This feels illegal to look at. If you feed a parrot a cookie in Java, it dies instantly. However, in Bedrock, giving a cookie to a parrot will cause it to slowly die from poison. I even tried saving the parrot with healing potions, but it didn't work. This is because the parrots suffer from a special potion effect called Fatal Poison, which guarantees its death. In Java Edition, you use a shield by holding down the right-click button. However, in Bedrock, you must crouch to activate the shield, which can be quite cumbersome. Despite this, Bedrock Edition offers a unique advantage. When you ride a horse, the shield is automatically held up, providing protection without any additional action required. A super quick way to extinguish candles in Java Edition is with water bottles. However, this doesn't work in Bedrock no matter how many bottles you throw. Check out this tight gap! Trying to go through it by boat won't work in Java, but if you switch to Bedrock, you'll be able to row right through. Check out my dance moves! In Bedrock Edition, you can use /play animation command to dance, and you can apply it to other entities too. Like this ghast animation makes our bodies very big and head small, or this Enderman animation makes a player's head detach from its body. Eek! Wool and carpet can only be used as furnace fuel in Java Edition. This means you won't be able to use a carpet duper to get infinite fuel while in Bedrock. However, Bedrock's furnace has its own advantages. It can use a beehive as fuel, while Java can't. Okay, that's not that good. To duplicate tall flowers, simply use bone meal on them, and the item will drop. This method doesn't work on small flowers in Java Edition. However, in Bedrock Edition, using bone meal on small flowers causes a flower type to spread around. Now I can finally farm tulips efficiently! If you get yourself a glass pane in Bedrock Edition, you'll notice that it has a 3D texture, whereas in Java, they have a 2D texture. While this may seem like a pointless difference, the 2D glass panes are often used to create a pretty GUI in Java. Moreover, in Java, the light gray stained glass pane appears almost invisible in your inventory, which can be used for pranks to make friends think their inventories are full. Good luck trying this on Bedrock. In Java, if you want to see what potion effects you currently have, you just check your inventory. However, in Bedrock, your effects aren't displayed here. So, where'd you find them? Well, Bedrock actually has its own separate potion menu, which you can access by pressing Z. It shows all of your active potion effects and how much remaining time they have. I personally prefer the Java menu because a separate menu for this is not needed. The more you trade with villagers, the more trades you can unlock. Bedrock villagers are slightly better than Java ones because they show the next level trades you'll unlock. In Java, name tags don't work on armor stands, but in Bedrock, they do. You can even name it Dinner Bone to flip the stand upside down. Bedrock chat is much more annoying to use as it covers up the entire screen when trying to type something. The only upside is that there are buttons for quick commands. Java chat, on the other hand, is pretty clean and minimal. This isn't a zombie. Rather, it's a giant! It's only found in Java Edition and has to be summoned using commands. Transporting mobs can be extremely challenging. A useful technique in Java Edition involves setting the mobs on fire and placing water at your desired destination. Mobs on fire will instinctively run towards the nearest water source to extinguish themselves. If you look very closely at the enchanting GUI in Java and Bedrock Editions, you can see that the Java enchanting book animation is slower than the one in Bedrock. I bet you didn't know that. Enchanted golden apples in Bedrock Edition are actually stronger than the ones in Java. Java apples only give regeneration 2. However, in Bedrock, they give regeneration 5. That's so overpowered. Check out this spiral. To get the gold at the end, piglins in Java Edition have to run all the way to the middle. But in Bedrock, they have longer arms and just reach over. Ghasts are much scarier in Bedrock Edition. When they shoot a fireball here, their eyes actually glow. In Java Edition, their eyes merely turn red without any glow. You don't scare me! Everyone knows that if you play a jukebox near parrots, they'll start to dance. But did you know that in Java Edition, parrots stop dancing when once they land on your shoulder? In contrast, if you're playing in Bedrock Edition, the party doesn't stop. The parrots will keep dancing even while perched on your shoulders. You probably know that in Java Edition, dripstone can be shot through the end portal, and the next person who loads into the end will be hit by the dripstone. However, if you try the same thing in Bedrock Edition, the dripstones will just crack upon hitting the end portal and turn into item form. It's impossible to place torches on honey blocks because they're slightly smaller than a full block. Well, unless you're playing on Bedrock Edition, where you somehow can. When you activate a piston, check out the extended region. In Java Edition, the extended region looks fairly normal. But if you activate the piston in Bedrock Edition, you'll see that the piston rod looks a lot chunkier. I can't believe you can do this! In Bedrock Edition, you're able to emote, and there are tons of different dance moves to choose from. You can access the emote menu by pressing B, and by default, you'll have these emotes unlocked. Unfortunately, if you want more, many of them cost mine coins, so most of us will just have to stick to the simple emotes. Sugarcane is mostly the same between Java and Bedrock. However, one notable difference is that bone meal works on it only in Bedrock Edition. A super useful trick in Java Edition is to use a boat to kill Endermen because they can't teleport out. However, I don't recommend trying this in Bedrock Edition because Endermen can actually teleport out of boats here. Please don't kill me! Summoning a bunch of end crystals in Java Edition creates a visually satisfying stack. However, if you do the same in Bedrock Edition and then reload your world, the effect is even more impressive. The resulting pattern is so unique that it barely feels like Minecraft. When you place a conduit in Java Edition, it hovers slightly in the air. In Bedrock Edition, the conduit will be flush with the ground. Swamp huts in Bedrock Edition hides a super useful secret. Their cauldrons have a chance to be filled with a random potion, while in Java, these cauldrons are just empty. Sprinting is broken in Bedrock Edition. When you go into third person, you'll see that you have stiff legs when sprint jumping. It looks pretty odd, but I prefer the Java running animation a lot more. Cakes are delicious! In the Bedrock Edition, when you eat one, you'll even hear burping sounds. Oops, excuse me. Zombified piglins normally can swim in lava just fine, but if you put them in a lava cauldron, something strange happens. In Bedrock Edition, if you put the zombified piglin in a lava cauldron, it'll start showing the damage animation. However, it's not actually losing hearts. The animation just plays. This also happens to baby striders when you put them in the cauldron. The lava cauldron is a pretty unique way to torture mobs. In Java Edition, if you throw an invisibility potion at a shulker, the outer shell becomes invisible, revealing the creature inside. However, if you try the same thing in Bedrock Edition, nothing happens. It's immune to invisibility. TNT doesn't explode into water, right? Well, sort of. In Java Edition, dropping sand on top of TNT makes it explode into water, but the same thing in Bedrock Edition doesn't work. Boo, you stink! Dogs in Bedrock Edition are able to be fed seafood like cooked tropical and pufferfish. However, Java dogs are a lot more picky and refuse to eat seafood. When it snows in Bedrock Edition, the leaves actually change color to white, and it looks so pretty. If you place down jungle leaves here, it looks like they have bananas or some kind of fruit attached to them. In Bedrock, you're able to easily waterlog barrier blocks. However, in Java, attempting to waterlog a barrier block results in the water being placed adjacent to it instead. When you use a minecart on a sleeping villager in Bedrock Edition, the villager will still be sleeping in the minecart. This is obviously a Bedrock-only feature because Bedrock is full of bugs. In Bedrock Edition, if you give an armor stand a glass block, you can actually use it to see through water and ice. Make sure to use night vision to clearly see through the ocean depths. This contraption can also be used to see through honey and slime blocks, allowing you to see what's going on the other side of a sticky wall. In Java, if you summon an armor stand with arms and give it a glass block, nothing special happens, and everything will render correctly. Most servers in Java Edition use the chest inventory as a GUI, but in Bedrock Edition, the GUIs are so much better. They have custom interfaces with custom icons. This is a sunset in Java, and this is what it looks like in Bedrock. With these two sunsets side by side, we can see that Java has a longer sunset, while in Bedrock, it gets dark quicker. In Java, you may be familiar with the chicken jockey. However, Bedrock Edition takes this concept further with an additional 20 jockey types. In Bedrock, 15% of naturally spawned baby zombies have the capability to mount a variety of mobs, including pandas, cows, sheep, and even other adult zombies. Some of them look pretty cursed. You may know that piglins are scared of soul fire, but they also fear something quite silly. In Bedrock Edition, even if you extinguish a soul campfire, the piglins will still run away from the extinguished logs. Check out my bed setup! It includes a dispenser firing arrows right at the pillow. In Bedrock Edition, you can sleep undisturbed and wake up unharmed. But in Java, the arrows will hit you and wake you right back up. Please just let me sleep! Be careful! The weather is a lot deadlier in Bedrock Edition than in Java. In Bedrock, it features a white spawning animation, while in Java, the animation is blue. The Bedrock wither also has 600 hearts, whereas the Java wither has only 300 hearts. By constantly alternating the time from day to night with commands, you'll make villagers dance in and out of their beds. Unfortunately, on Java, the villagers don't react quick enough to create the same effect. By casting a fishing rod in Bedrock Edition, you'll notice something interesting. The bobber is actually a 3D model, while in Java, the bobber is only a 2D texture. However, that's not the only way the Bedrock fishing rod is better. Its durability is 384, while the Java rod is only 64. This is so unfair! If you're playing on Bedrock, don't let water near your tracks because it'll completely destroy your rails. But if you're on Java, water's not much of an issue because rails are unaffected by water and can even be waterlogged. My Java roller coaster goes through the ocean. In Bedrock Edition, when you hold out a piece of food, animals eagerly and quickly approach you. In contrast, in Java Edition, if you walk slightly too fast or move a bit too far away, the animals quickly lose interest. Are you kidding me? I'm right here! In Java, the fishing rod can be used to hook and reel items towards you. But in Bedrock, fishing rods don't work on items. If you cook raw beef in Java Edition, its name will be steak. However, cooking the exact same item in Bedrock Edition will result in a different name: cooked beef. This will blow your mind. If you drop a tower of sand onto a cobweb and then push it with a piston in Java Edition, the sand blocks will just fall and transform into collectible items. However, in Bedrock Edition, something crazy happens. When pushed by a piston under the same conditions, the sand blocks move sideways, forming a massive, continuous line of sand. I can't see through the window! In Bedrock Edition, igloo windows are made of packed ice, so you can't see through them. However, in Java Edition, the windows are made of normal, transparent ice. I'm not sure which one I prefer though, because the ice melts when you use the furnace. In Java, armor stands look like this, but in Bedrock, they have functioning arms, so you can display your hand-earned weapons. However, that's not even the best difference. By shift-clicking an armor stand in Bedrock, you can change its pose. Alternatively, you can also change the pose by powering the armor stand with redstone. The pose you get depends on the redstone's signal strength. If you travel roughly 30 million blocks away from spawn, you'll find the world border in Java Edition. In contrast, Bedrock Edition does not have a fixed world border. Instead, the game world starts to deteriorate the further you travel from spawn. When you reach 524,000 blocks, movement becomes jittery and difficult to control. Paintings break and can be placed on top of each other and through solid blocks. At 4.1 million blocks, you can no longer move on the ground. Movement is only possible by flying, either with an elytra or in creative mode. At 8.3 million blocks, entities less than 1 block wide, like pigs, will fall through the world. Larger entities like camels remain unaffected. Textures of blocks such as bells and stonecutters also break. Finally, at 16.7 million blocks, you'll be at the Stripe Lands, a highly corrupted area of the world. If you go to the corner Stripe Lands, it'll even look like a sky grid. Help! My house is on fire! Fortunately, in Bedrock Edition, if it starts raining, the fire will be extinguished very quickly. This is because Bedrock rain instantly puts out fires. Conversely, in Java, rain also extinguishes flames, but it does so much slower in comparison. If you get shot by an arrow in Java Edition, the arrow will get stuck to your player model. You'll even start to look like a porcupine with all those arrows. However, in Bedrock, the arrows don't attach to the player, and you just take damage. Water and fire normally don't mix, but how about ice and fire? In Java, you're able to light ice on fire to melt it down. However, in Bedrock, it's actually impossible to light the ice on fire, which I guess makes sense. Java and Bedrock's combat systems are completely different. In Java, there's an attack cooldown, so players have to wait in between hits. But in Bedrock, players can just spam hits because the cooldown system will be awkward on mobile devices. Additionally, this also means sweeping edge attacks don't exist in Bedrock, so players will still have to kill mobs in their mob grinder one by one, while Java players can take them out hastily. This is illegal! My world looks beautiful! In Java, you're able to use mods like Iris to turn on shader packs and completely upgrade your game. While this doesn't exist in Bedrock, they have RTX mode instead. It's built directly into the game and can be activated with just a toggle. It doesn't look exactly the same, but it still looks good in its own way. How am I standing inside this end portal? In Bedrock Edition, if you place fence blocks directly beneath the portal, you can stand inside it without being teleported. However, in Java Edition, attempting the same setup will result in immediate teleportation to the end. Do you like my house? It was built on top of the nether roof. However, this is only possible in Java because in Bedrock, the game won't allow you to place blocks up here. Why can't Java have this? In Java, when a baby horse grows up, it instantly transforms into the adult variant. But Bedrock horses are a lot more realistic. Horses gradually increase in size as they age until they reach full adulthood. Dying in Java Edition brings up a simple death screen. In contrast, Bedrock Edition features a dynamic zoom-out animation showing your character's last location. In Java, salmon look like this. They're all the same, but in Bedrock, Bedrock, salmon actually come in 3 different sizes. The different fish sizes make the oceans feel much more diverse. This piglin is being tortured! Pathfinding in Java Edition prevents it from going through the rails to reach the gold. However, Bedrock piglins have smarter pathfinding and will just walk right over the rails. Grindstones in Bedrock need a supporting block or it'll break. A cool trick we can do with this is create a long line of grindstone and then break the supporting block to send them all crumbling down in a chain reaction. In Java, the advancement menu is pretty confusing with all the advancements branching off, but Bedrock has a cleaner UI. It shows the percentage of achievements you've completed and other potential achievements you can accomplish. For some reason, Bedrock Edition has a little dude in the top left corner. Besides showing what armor you're wearing, he's not too useful and is just chilling up there. This is what a bed looks like in Java, and this is what it looks like in Bedrock. Java beds have a 3D texture, while those in Bedrock have a 2D texture. Which one do you prefer? If you drop an anvil onto a slime block in Java Edition, the anvil will take damage. But in Bedrock, anvils won't take any damage from landing on slime blocks, which makes sense. This is a baby dolphin. It exists only in Bedrock Edition, where 10% of dolphins spawn as babies, and they're so cute! Similarly, 5% of both squids and glow squids also spawn as babies. Although these baby variants exist in the Bedrock Edition, currently there is no way to breed these adult sea creatures. If you can't turn on sounds, Java Edition offers sound subtitles that visually indicate nearby sounds. You can't sneak up on me, zombie! Do you think you can open this chest? In Java, you're able to open chests with half slabs on top perfectly fine. However, for some reason, you can't open them in Bedrock. When you feed animals in Bedrock Edition, you can see crumbs of the specific food appear at the animal's mouth. Well, on Java, you won't see any difference no matter which food you use. In Java Edition, wearing a mob skull has a tactical advantage. It halves the detection range of the same hostile mob type, making it harder for them to spot you. Unfortunately, this feature doesn't exist in Bedrock Edition, but it has its own unique perk. When you wear any type of head in Bedrock, you become invisible to other players on a locator map, which is a great tactic for hiding from your friends. While flying in Java Edition, once you stop pressing forward, your momentum will carry you a bit further. However, in Bedrock Edition, you'll immediately come to a halt. In Java, you can shoot arrows between the gaps of beds, anvils, grindstones, and cauldrons. However, in Bedrock Edition, the arrows will just get stuck in the blocks and float in the air. If you light the ground on fire in Java Edition, the mobs will smartly try to go around it. In Bedrock Edition, the mobs will just try running through the flames, and they won't have too much luck with that. Bedrock offhand slot is useless. Only a select few items can be placed here, such as shields, tipped arrows, the totem of undying, and maps for exploring. On the other hand, in Java Edition, you can put any item you want in the offhand slot. In Bedrock Edition, if you place a fish on slime blocks, the fish will start to bounce super high. However, if you try the same in Java Edition, fish will still bounce, but not just as high. Did you know ocean temples are harder to beat in Bedrock Edition? In Bedrock, if you drink milk to remove mining fatigue while within range of Elder Guardians, the effect is instantly reapplied. In contrast, Java Edition allows you up to a minute free from mining fatigue after drinking milk, giving you a chance to mine through the ocean monument and even steal the gold without needing to defeat the Elder Guardians. I'm tired of purple shulkers! Luckily, in Bedrock Edition, you can dye a living shulker to any color you want. I like red, but trying to dye shulkers in Java is impossible in survival, and you'll end up just getting a few bullets to the face. If you try to push a chest or a furnace with a piston in Java, they won't budge. But in Bedrock, tile entities can actually be pushed. I'm so jealous. Snow is a lot more realistic in Bedrock. If you break the blocks below snow layers, the snow actually has a falling animation similar to sand. What's even more interesting is that you can place snow layers inside of flowers. In Java, you'll just have patches of grass wherever you have a flower planted, which looks quite odd. When you dye a sheep in Bedrock Edition, not only does its wool change color, but its facial hair too. This is different from Java Edition, where the sheep's face remains white even after the rest of the wool is dyed. But that's not the only reason Bedrock sheep are better. After shearing a dyed sheep, the patches of hair left on the sheep still show a hint of the dyed color. This feature helps you identify the sheep's previous wool color. In contrast, in Java Edition, all sheared sheep have only white hair patches, which makes it impossible to distinguish their prior wool color. If you use a lever on the side of a piston in Java Edition, the lever will break. In Bedrock, the lever works perfectly fine. In Java Edition, if a charged creeper blows up multiple mobs, you'll only get a single skull from all of them. However, in Bedrock, every mob blown up by the charged creeper will give a skull, making them much easier to farm. When you open a book in Java, you flip through it one page at a time. However, in Bedrock, you read books 2 pages at a time, which mimics how you would typically read a physical book. Although this is more realistic, I prefer Java's single-page books because it's a bit less overwhelming. Endermites behave differently in Java and Bedrock editions. In Bedrock, Endermites are a lot more aggressive. They'll be the first ones to attack Endermen. However, in Java, it's the opposite. Java Endermites only attack when they are provoked first by Endermen. In Bedrock, there's actually a first-person idle animation, so your hands move slightly completely up and down, while in Java Edition, your hands just stay completely still. One of my favorite features of Java Edition is the ability to switch to older versions. However, good luck doing that in Bedrock because it's not possible. If you mine with your fist, no items will drop. However, Bedrock Edition has a surprising twist. You can actually break furnaces, blast furnaces, and smokers with just your fist and still obtain the item. What's even crazier is the fact that you can mine an enchanting table, which is made out of obsidian, with your fists, and the item will still drop. If you try the same thing on Java Edition, just air will drop as usual. The creative menu in Bedrock Edition is so much better. Items of the same type are put into expandable sections to not flood the creative menu. Additionally, you still have access to the crafting grid, so you can craft items while in creative mode. In Java, the organization isn't terrible, but I definitely prefer the Bedrock one. There's also no crafting grid here. Please add it, Mojang! This villager is stronger than most players. It's been equipped with netherite thorns armor using dispensers. You can also put mob skulls onto their heads that they can't take off. Unfortunately, trying the same thing in Bedrock won't work, and the items will just dispense to the floor. Did you know dolphins are much deadlier in Bedrock Edition? If you accidentally hit one, all nearby dolphins will swarm to attack you, similar to how zombie pigmen behave. In Java Edition, if you hit a dolphin, their response is less aggressive. The max render distance in Java Edition is 32 chunks, which is already quite impressive. However, in Bedrock Edition, the max render distance is a staggering 96 chunks. To put this into perspective, you can see the outer end islands from the main island in Bedrock Edition. Bedrock skins are way cooler. You can purchase skins with custom models, modify specific body features, and even use skins with animated textures, like a portal base. However, while this is all cool, in Java, you don't have to pay to customize your skin. Well, I think that makes it better. In Bedrock, you can see the text on signs through the opaque textures of glass blocks. In Java Edition, glass blocks function as expected, and you can't see through the textured parts of the block. The crossbow has a durability of 465 in Java, but in Bedrock, it has a durability of 464. I have no idea why they're different by 1. Did you know foxes in Bedrock are stronger than the ones in Java? Bedrock foxes have 10 entire hearts, while Java foxes only have 5. You're too weak! If you like TNT in this order, a heart-shaped explosion will form. However, this only works in Bedrock, and trying the same thing in Java will result in just a random explosion. On Bedrock, if you're looking for skins and maps, you'll have to use a marketplace and pay real money for them. But Java, on the other hand, has free skins and maps that you can just download for free from the internet. This is an illegal door. It was made using a debug stick in Java Edition. Unfortunately, if you want to do this in Bedrock, it won't be possible because the debug stick exists only in Java. Squids have a superpower! In Bedrock Edition, a squid's tentacles show how much oxygen they have left. The longer they are out of water, the slower their tentacles move. After 15 seconds, they start suffocating, and their tentacles stop moving completely. In Java Edition, their tentacles move at the same speed regardless of their oxygen level. In Java, super flat worlds come with structures like villages and strongholds, allowing for survival possibilities. But in Bedrock, you can get an option to toggle flat worlds. These lack any structures, making long-term survival nearly impossible. Additionally, Bedrock flat worlds offer no customization options. You're limited to flat grass. Meanwhile, Java Edition features a variety of amazing presets for super flat worlds. Dolphins in Bedrock Edition have a hidden detail most people will miss. They produce small bubbles behind them as they swim, while Java ones do not. Charged creepers have a secret ability in Bedrock Edition. You can actually look through their glowing aura, and you'll be able to see through water and ice. Good luck trying this in survival, though. If you look directly at the sun in Bedrock Edition, the sun gets slightly larger while the sky gets slightly darker. This visual effect was added to simulate how your eyes see extremely bright things in real life. This shulker box is actually a secret entrance. In Java Edition, if you open it while standing on top, you'll be squeezed down into a secret passage. However, this trick doesn't work in Bedrock Edition, where you'll simply be pushed to the side instead. Jumping, punching the air, and dropping items will all play unique sound effects in Bedrock Edition, but in Java, those actions make no sound. If you light an end portal with an end crystal inside of it, will the end crystal be teleported? Well, it's complicated. In the Bedrock Edition, the crystal will actually transport over to the end, but in Java, the crystal will just stay there. In Java Edition, a simple way to take no damage from cactus is placing a carpet on top of it, while in Bedrock, the carpet won't protect you, and you'll still take damage. Waterlogged banners and signs are more visible underwater in Bedrock Edition. The text is clearly visible here, but trying the same things in Java won't look as good. The banner can't be waterlogged, and the text blends right in with the water. Cobwebs have a unique feature only in Java Edition. You're able to place paintings on them and use them as secret entrances. Placing a painting on cobwebs won't work in Bedrock though. My inventory is completely full of cakes! This is because in Java, cakes can only be in stacks of 1. However, if we switch over to Bedrock, cakes can actually stack up to 64. Okay, I might switch versions now. What happens if you activate this end portal with a nether portal inside. There's actually two possible outcomes. In Java Edition, activating the end portal will simply break the nether one. However, in Bedrock, activating the end portal will slice off the bottom part of the nether portal, yet it will remain fully functional. Hardcore only exists in Java Edition, but this is actually a good thing. Bedrock is filled with glitches that cause the player to randomly die. Imagine losing your hardcore world due to a glitch. If you're in Java Edition, don't build your walls out of magma blocks. Although magma might seem like a good barrier against hostile creatures, spiders can climb over them in this edition. However, if you're in Bedrock Edition, magma blocks are a safer choice for wall construction because spiders can't climb them. Mobs in Java aren't able to pathfind over rails, which means hostile mobs won't cross them to attack you. However, in Bedrock Edition, mobs are programmed to be smarter. They can easily walk over the rails to reach you. In Java Edition, if you cast your fishing rod through lava and the bobber lands on a mob, nothing will happen. However, in Bedrock Edition, this action will cause the mob to catch fire. This is an air bubble stream. It's a fully functional jet stream without any water or soul sand nearby. To create it, build a regular bubble elevator, block out the source blocks with powdered snow, and lastly, activate an end portal to destroy the soul sand at the bottom. This airstream is only possible on Bedrock Edition and is quite cool. My redstone contraption is ruined! In Java, when redstone components come in contact with water, they break. But in Bedrock, certain redstone components like repeaters, tripwires, levers, and buttons actually function underwater. You're able to make some fully underwater redstone circuits without worrying about things breaking down. In Bedrock, you're able to push chests with pistons. So a cool trick we can do is splitting apart a double chest. It feels so wrong doing this though. The plains biome is actually different between Java and Bedrock editions. In Java, there's grass plants littered all across the plains. But in Bedrock, there's a lot less, and you can actually build here. A regular pumpkin won't work to create a golem in Java, but in Bedrock, normal pumpkins do work. Why does this difference exist? If you want to ride a horse, you'll need to use a saddle, right? Well, not exactly. In only Bedrock edition, skeleton horses are tamed by default and don't require a saddle to control. In Java edition, you can sleep in a bed completely submerged by water. However, in Bedrock Edition, the bed gets waterlogged and you can't sleep in it. The void is far more dangerous in Java Edition than in Bedrock. The Bedrock void is covered by an invisible floor, so you won't endlessly fall. With regeneration, you can even walk along the void floor and fly out with fireworks once you're done exploring. But in Java, you'll just keep falling until you die. Not even being in creative mode will save you here. Cauldrons are a million times better in Bedrock. Not only can they be used to store potions, but you can also right-click with arrows to tip them. This method is so useful that I don't even know how to craft tipped arrows normally. I wish Java had this. What will happen if you activate this end portal? There are pistons protruding into the portal area, so will they break the game? In Bedrock Edition, the extended pistons actually prevent the portal blocks from forming, resulting in an illegal end portal. However, if you attempt this in Java Edition, the portal will simply break the pistons when it activates. In Java, you're able to ride boats near lava. However, don't even think about it on Bedrock because doing so will cause the boat to take a ton of damage quickly and break. Then you press escape in Bedrock Edition, it doesn't actually pause the game, so a creeper can still blow you up. This feature is one of the most annoying aspects of Bedrock. Corals are slightly different between Minecraft editions. If you place a coral fan on the wall in Bedrock, it'll only be one-sided. But if you place the same fan in Java, it'll be two-sided. When you kill the Ender Dragon in Bedrock, the dragon dies right where it took its final blow. But if you kill it in Java Edition, the dragon will fly to the top of the end fountain. In Java, you're able to spawn shulkers below the void to create a walkable void base. But in Bedrock, this isn't possible, and mobs can't be spawned below Bedrock. Silk Touch is more useful in Bedrock. In Java Edition, path blocks always drop dirt when broken. Even using a Silk Touch shovel won't work on it. But in Bedrock, Silk Touch actually works, and you can pick up the path blocks as items. If you look really closely at the end portal in Java and Bedrock, you'll notice that the portal texture differs slightly between the two versions. You can see this difference easily by zooming in with a spyglass. Bedrock Edition used to have two secret mobs that didn't exist in Java. The first was a giant rabbit, which could be summoned using commands. This rabbit was over a full block tall, making it look quite goofy when next to normal rabbits. The second secret mob appeared when you summoned a tamed wolf. When you dyed it, the entire wolf would change colors instead of just the color. When you eat food in Java Edition, there isn't much of an eating animation besides a few particles appearing near your mouth. But in Bedrock, you'll see your arm actually bringing the food to your mouth as you eat. Comparing the two side by side is really fascinating. If you look closely at Steve's face, you'll notice that he blinks every few seconds. But it's not just Steve. All the other official Bedrock skins are able to blink too, and it's kinda cool. If you use a fishing rod on a mob in a boat, you can actually reel it out in Bedrock Edition. It's a great way to get mobs out of boats without accidentally hitting them when you meant to break the boat. Endermen hate water, but in Java, they're able to stay inside of a water cauldron without any problem. But in Bedrock, cauldrons behave properly, and Endermen will get hurt by touching the water inside. However, this strategy does not work in Bedrock Edition, where mobs set on fire will just run around randomly instead. Changing game modes in Java Edition requires you to type out the full mode name, but Bedrock Edition simplifies this with abbreviations like S for Survival and C for Creative, which is especially handy on mobile devices. To create an infinite water source, you typically need at least 2 buckets of water. However, in the Bedrock Edition, you can achieve this with just 1. This is due to a special feature in Bedrock. When water flows into a cauldron, it fills up, allowing you to scoop up water repeatedly. In contrast, in Java Edition, flowing water cannot fill a cauldron. You must directly fill cauldrons with a bucket of water. If you summon a ton of items in Bedrock Edition, it won't look very special. It'd just be a pile of loot. But if you do the same thing in Java and then reload your world, the item stack will look extremely satisfying. I need this in my life. Piglin bartering is super overpowered, but it's so slow. Luckily, Bedrock Edition pros found a way to speed it up by 100 times. All you need to do is grab a sticky piston and a gold block and hook it up to a super fast clock. Then when you drop the gold, the piglin will pick a piece of gold up every time the block moves, giving you supercharged trading. Finally, infinite gravel! Just what I've always wanted. If you don't have a flint and steel and need to light a campfire, you're in luck. In Bedrock Edition, by putting yourself on fire and walking over a campfire, it'll light it up. Ouch! You may know that sponges dry out in the nether, but it actually happens in another biome. In Bedrock Edition, wet sponges placed in a dry biome, like a desert, will dry out after a few minutes. Just another reason you should never use furnaces to dry them. In Bedrock Edition, there are unused texture files named Hoglin Meat Raw and Hoglin Meat Cooked. They're textured identically to raw and cooked beef. Maybe they were originally supposed to drop a new type of meat. Water changes color depending on the biome, but in Bedrock Edition, it gets even stranger. If you can glitch water in the nether, it'll be red. Alex and Steve can change height in Bedrock Edition. Just go into the character creator where you can select the smallest height. This seems overpowered in PvP. Ravagers can break leaves and crops in Java Edition, but in Bedrock Edition, they're way more powerful. Ravagers can break blocks like pumpkins, saplings, sugarcane, and roses. Stop griefing me! Some skeletons can naturally pick up swords in the Bedrock Edition, and they swing it super fast. You stole my sword! Okay, you can just keep it. You may know that potions can be stored in cauldrons on the Bedrock Edition, but something few people know is that the cauldrons will save the potion's state. You can put throwable lingering potions inside it, and if you pick it back up from the cauldron, it'll still be lingering. You can get the nether portal block. In Bedrock Edition 1.17, build this redstone contraption that pushes a snow block and lights another portal. You can then use a silk touch shovel to instantly break the moving snow, which will bug out and let you farm infinite nether portal blocks. This is a gravity block duper. It worked on older versions of Bedrock Edition. If you send blocks like sand or gravel through it, it'll convert to any random item. So if you leave it on for a while, you'll eventually get items like the border block, fire block, bedrock, jigsaw, and light block, all from survival mode. You can get that the bubble column block is one of the most useful things for traveling upwards, but you used to be able to get the item. On Bedrock version 1.20.31, all you had to do was place a soul sand, water block on top, and lantern. If you break the lantern in the water and hold down your pickaxe, you'd be able to get the water column item. This happened because of a mining progress transfer glitch. You can break Minecraft's moon. This is one of the craziest bugs I've ever seen. It happened in older versions of Bedrock Edition when you set the time to negative. Doing so caused the moon to glitch and show all sorts of weird textures from glowing rays to all the moon files at once. I actually prefer this. Did you know minecarts can travel on water? On the Bedrock Edition, you can send a minecart towards a bubble column and it will zip along surprisingly quickly. It's a great way to make your roller coasters much more exciting than the classic rails. In the Java Edition, this method also works, but the minecart tends to slow down over time. However, there's a trick to keep it moving. Place a boat inside the minecart, and now the boat can efficiently ride on top of the bubbles. It's too good! This is ridiculous! In the Bedrock Edition, you can just place a block right in front of you to bridge. It's so overpowered here that one user is able to bridge while moving forward on a horse. Okay, come on! Well, those are the best differences between Java and Bedrock Edition. Subscribe if you love Minecraft!